If you take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living our people. So how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right?
Kanye West just kicked the door open again, and this time pointing straight at Will Smith and Jay-Z, saying the truth about what really went down behind them elite circles, finally catching up. And if what Ye hinting at holds weight, some of Hollywood's untouchables might just be running out of time. Here's the thing, for many years, when Kanye West spoke about the industry, people chose to ignore it. They called it a rant, said he was spiraling, or it was just Ye being Ye. But now, folks, once again, laughing has begun to take it more seriously and less like noise. Before cracking open the Epstein vault earlier this year, the conversation didn't just grow bigger, it completely switched. Now, no longer just rumors.
Today we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images. In total, that means that the department produced approximately 3.5 million pages in compliance with the act.
People out there in documents, tips, submissions, and logs. Yeah, not accusations or convictions, but mentions. And people wanted to come back to something now. Kanye had been pointing towards the elite for a very long time. And the #1 cultural target, Jay-Z. Now to be very clear, legally, nothing. No accusations, no trial or travel records, nor a black book. But he is in some recorded submissions from years ago. Yes, legally, it might not hold much weight, but socially, it's heavy. What also got some people uneasy was Jay's name being close to the Epstein situation. He was his longtime business partner, allegedly. Diddy, Weinstein, R. Kelly, once powerful people who were untouchable. Though close association does not imply guilt, it does mean that people will start to look closer. So the question was no longer, did he do something? It changed to, how much did he know? And when this change happened, it began to shed light on Kanye's previous warnings. Because Kanye's talks were never solely about scandals. They were about protection, about loyalty, about how the most valuable assets within an elite class system remain untouchable. At that time, it sounded emotional. Now, it feels systematic.
If you take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living our people. So how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right?
They can't control you. They can't. They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize
They
you.
can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
No, not you, man.
But they can't control me.
No,
You see, it
you.
ain't no name I won't name.
And it wasn't just Kanye advancing that line of thought. D.L. Hewley did too, but he did not make any accusations. What he did was bring attention to the way that outrage seems to be selective in the world of Hollywood. How some people are condemned on the spot while others are unaddressed. He brought back an old account of Gabriella Rico, who claimed to have seen disturbing things at an elite gathering we can't even begin to describe here. A story that was dismissed back then. Now, it feels different.
Yeah, but to be honest, nobody believed that this wouldn't touch a lot of very famous people, right? This whole milieu we find ourselves in wouldn't touch a lot of famous people. And all I can say when I saw it is, I never had to go to a white party. I didn't go to none of those parties.
No?
No, it never appealed to me. I'm not saying.
And now Epstein's connections coming to the forefront again. Everything related to elite social circles is examined again. DL's point is very straightforward. Why do certain stories disappear until it is safe to talk about them again? Why does accountability only seem to come when it is socially acceptable? He also argued that equal scrutiny should be placed on everyone who was named. No favorites, no sacred cows. This is similar to what Kanye has said many times. The industry protects its pillars until they can't. When pressure builds too high, sacrifice becomes strategy. And time started to fuel that perception too. Quiet moves, long-term plans, overseas investments, new properties. By themselves, nothing. But when you have a suspicion, everything is symbolic. The street started to read those symbols. Perception thrives in silence, and silence brings us to the other name Kanye has been circling for years, Will Smith. Now, let's keep it a buck. Will's public image has always been rock solid. Family man, clean image, Hollywood ambassador. But behind that, whispers have floated for years, not about identity, but about influence and mentorship dynamics inside elite circles. As Will's whispers began to grow, they grew louder to tell some story of the past. Brother Bilal, not just some random dude, but a first-hand close pal of Will, said what he has seen behind the scenes does not add up to the public persona. We won't go into specifics, but what Bilal hinted crazy. Will being not only DL, but forcing himself, allegedly, on his mentee, Brycia Gray, who's been spiraling.
So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second. Who was on top?
It wasn't a top. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up. Like, it was.
Okay. What did you do?
I froze. What did you, see, I'm not used to seeing. Listen, it's traumatizing. I've never seen it. I don't watch games. You know, I never seen a man and another man.
Will Smith was bent over.
And Dwayne was killing him.
Condom?
I don't know. I don't.
You didn't look that close.
Listen, even when I was with the deer and headlights, and I finally said, "Oh shit," and they turned around and said, "Close the fucking door," right? So I back out the door. I'm not going in there. No, I ain't going up in there. I back out the door, lock the door, I leave. I arrived in Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes, pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
The same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on, right? So I'm like, I pull him to the side, right? And I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. Okay. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will me. You know Diddy made me so. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Now, nothing fully proven, but folks noticed that the allegation wasn't the key moment, but the aftermath. Denials were quick. Pushback was strong.
Whomever you choose.
Yeah.
How does it feel in 2023 to still have those same rumors out about people you love, like Will and Dwayne?
I know.
That just came out too recently.
Yeah, you know, and let me just say this. It's ridiculous, right? And it's nonsense. And this is a person that tried a money shakedown that didn't work. We're gonna take legal action. Because it's one thing to have your opinion about somebody versus just making up salacious, malicious stories. Mm-hmm. So that's actionable. So we're going to roll with that.
But when Bilal stated he would take legal action, when he dared to take the situation to court, there was nothing, no lawsuits, no legal action, court of public opinion. The narrative is not settled when there is silence, but fed. Fast forward almost 2 years gone, and still nothing. Brother Bilal still loud, and nobody has sued him. This making folks pay attention now.
You called her a dope fiend.
Yeah, I called her bald-headed dope fiend, without question. I told her she better sue me because
she said to TMZ when they asked her when she left the Breakfast Club.
Yes.
She looked. They was like, well, what do you got to say? And she was like, we're suing. And I was just like, okay.
Right.
That's been about 2 years.
Yeah, and
we haven't gotten a lawsuit yet.
I said some pretty, what some people may think to be outrageous things, but I knew them to be true and had the evidence to be, to show that it was true. So from that, that's when Jada responded out of anger, not out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because for her to be a global iconic superstar, you rushed to the Breakfast Club to say, number one, that I extorted you. There was a money shakedown. You said you didn't have all the facts. So that puts you in legal jeopardy right now. You said all the facts will come out. None of the facts came out, right? So now you, Will, and yourself are in legal jeopardy.
And Jaguar right. If you followed industry talk for years, you've known that Jaguar's been the most raised of the alarms. She didn't present it as a scandal. She presented it as a pattern.
See, they trying to send him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present that tape.
So now August Alsina after the red table, bitch. Don't want pussy no more. Odell Beckham get with Kim Kardashian. She's supposed to be the shit. Justin Bieber, now he don't want Kim no more. What's going on?
What is going on? I mean, what's in the air?
He know the love of a man. That's what he know.
That's what he know now.
That's what he know.
And that's where Kanye's narrative keeps coming back. It's not about the private life, it's about the control. He has always described the industry as a shield, a realm where social capital is the currency and where silence is the same as loyalty. Now zoom out. You got Kanye raising alarms, DL calling out selective outrage, insiders speaking, Jaguar pointing to patterns. And suddenly, the idea that elite circles operate differently doesn't sound so far-fetched. Because whether it's Jay's proximity to controversial figures or Will's association with mentorship stories that ended badly, the conversation is no longer about single accusations. It's about ecosystems, networks, structures where influence decides who gets questioned and who gets shielded. And here's the cultural shift. In the past, the question was, is Kanye wilding? Now, it's becoming, what did Kanye see early? Because when previously dismissed voices like Jaguar and Bilal start to echo similar things, the culturally untouchable perfection begins to crack. Not legally, but culturally. And culture always moves faster than the courts.
No, one person we call crazy, we call a lunatic, we call bipolar, we say he belongs in a mental health institute. Somehow that person is the only person we don't see in these Epstein files. We don't see with nasty allegations towards his name. Now, Jay-Z to me, and here's why I think it's cooked, okay? Even though the allegations are unsubstantiated, because these are just, tips coming through a hotline. Fortunately for Jay, the world already wants to believe these allegations. So there's nothing Jay can do to really convince people that he's not guilty. So when your name is wrapped up in these files, kiss your public reputation goodbye, man.
Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is not implicated in any of these files. Ye is the one who's canceled. Ye is the one the media is calling evil. Ye is the one who they are demanding an apology from. Are they demanding an apology from Jay-Z? Jay-Z is now allegedly implicated in these files published by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI has now listed Jay-Z here, next to Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Why is there not the same demand for Jay-Z to apologize?
This convo isn't proof of crimes, but of patterns. If all these overlaps are a coincidence, why do they repeat? If all these isolated stories, why do they paint the same pic and trust the internet been loud? One dude hit hard saying, I doubt Kanye West is bipolar. He's always telling the truth. Another wrote, it really makes me think about how hard the media went on this dude, trying to paint him out as crazy because he's exposing that wasn't supposed to get out ever. But now, the hard-hitting questions are, do you think Kanye was exposing patterns early or just stirring chaos? And if perception keeps shifting, whose name surfaces next? So let me know your thoughts below, because conversation is just getting started. And if you thought this was wild, click the next video to dive even deeper.